Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and we got a report back on an investigation we are doing on we have an ex-cop that's from, I think it's Virginia, or even DC that's here, and he's been retired for many, many years. Uh, he's a private investigator, and he busted this cop for perjury, Charlotte County Sheriff Rassi, as you can see right here, and I'm going to attach this story to it, and, and then internal investigations did nothing. Well, we did get a response, and supposedly it did do something, but there again, it is still bull crap, because this guy, proved his case, proved his point. And there again, this is why we need body cameras and car cameras in the Charlotte County Sheriff's cars, which they do not have, because it's their word against yours, and of course the judge is going to, believe the cop and or the sheriff over you. So they actually did do an investigation, but there again, it's crap. I believe this ex-cop's investigation, where this actually was done as retribution, because this cop that and by the way, it doesn't talk about any of this in the IA report, which is more proof that it does relate to the case. This sheriff that pulled him over is related to a lady that this ex-cop busted for stealing his meds. I mean, good stuff like OxyContin and some other stuff. He has a back injury, and he doesn't dare do surgery because he could be crippled. So this lady was at this ex-cop's house. She left in the middle of the night without telling him, and he knew something was up. Sure enough, he checked the car, and the drugs were gone. I mean, Oxy's worth a lot of money on the street, and a lot of people are, love to use it. It's the drug companies are actually making better drugs than what you can get on the street now. Put it that way. That's true. It's real. Period. So he turned that person in, and they never filed a real report. It was just a report saying, okay, we know about it, and that's it. It wasn't a real report. This is freaking heavy drugs. They never, and now we find out why, because like this ex-cop found out, this person was related to this cop that pulled him over, this sheriff Rassi, and he proved the point, and they never talk about it in the report. So here's a response that we get: committed perjury, roadway vehicle operating. Okay, so here's a story. We're gonna go through it. But you want to know what? I'm gonna zip through it, because there again, like I say, it's the sheriff's word, it's the cop's word, it's internal investigation's word against your word. Like I said, they mention nothing, and there again too, the sheriff was saying that he was speeding. He's got a freaking older truck, which he proved can't even freaking speed. It's ridiculous. And then, like I said too, he also does not even, this is where he filed the report. Everybody needs to file a citizens inquiry complaint form. If you think something's wrong, you file the report. The one sad thing with Charlotte County Sheriff, though, is they literally on their website threaten you. They say, if you're doing this to me, we're going to charge you back. So they're literally intimidating you not to file a report. It's really freaking sick, man. Disgusting sick. So, and then what they kept saying in this IA report too is, why didn't you fight it in court and all this? Well, that's because his freaking lawyer told him to do what he did, and he did. That's why he didn't file it in court. You still have the right to file with IA. That's another excuse. And there again, like I said, the sheriff that pulled him over is related to the lady that he busted stealing his freaking Oxy, and he had proof, he had pictures. Like I said, I'll attach the video. And they just brush over this. By the way, too, I've been talking about this with many, many people. This DUI stuff is extremely out of hand. All the crap that they're doing to you now, if you get busted, this is crazy. 12 months probation. Look at this. Suspended license for 12 months. Pay state attorney costs. It's just, man, it's outrageous. Then you got a crap load of, you got DUI school. You got a community service. This part is also bullcrap. No use possession of alcohol. What the fudge, man? Maybe that was a bad day. It's, wow. So this is happening a lot too, where now you can't touch it. And another reason why they're doing it too, subject to drug and alcohol testing search at own expense. So that's another way that they're popping you too. You're on probation, and then anytime they can show up, make a pee, and then bust you again, you're on probation again. You got to pay more fees. It's just never-ending circle. It's disgusting. 10 days impoundment of vehicle. This really, really, really out of control. All the crap that they're doing. But like I said, I'm buzzing through this because I've already read it. Like I said, they mentioned nowhere in here that this is a retaliation stop, man. It's because this person is related to the one that he tried to get busted, which he has every right to, for stealing his Oxy. OxyContin is a controlled subject, substance, and they mention it nowhere in here. So there again, that's why ACLU and many other people are preaching that anytime you deal with a cop, with technology nowadays, they should have a body camera. Everything should be on video. If the cop, when he submits something, has no video, it should be questioned and or possibly just thrown out. And it should. But there again, Charlotte County Sheriff is so corrupt. It's just disgusting, sick, really, really sad. But we did find out they did do an investigation. But there again, this is like asking the mafia to investigate itself. It's really sad. So we just thought we'd let you know about this. That yes, IA probably 90% of the time is just the thick blue line of corruption, covering for each other again. And this is why we need body cameras. If you don't have body cameras or car cameras, if you don't have video evidence to prove the cop's case, then you should question their case, because they can't be trusted. Period. Period. So we thought we would do the follow-up on this. Like I said, I will attach the original one that we did. And this is a guy right here. Be aware of this guy. This is so dirty. You'll see in the next video that he's related to the lady that this ex-cop, tried to bust. Did bust, but they didn't file a real report for stealing his meds. So this is sad. This is corrupt. He's looking for an attorney right now because Rassi lied in the report to get the bust. This is sad. Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and just to show that I don't hate all cops and all cops don't hate me, is we had an interesting story that came in here where the corruption is so bad that that even when a ex-cop from a different place, basically up north, where if your agency is corrupt, they will clean it up with the FBI and etc., which is not happening here. And yeah, he experienced some corruption here with the Charlotte County Sheriff, and it blew him away, man. He could not believe it. We talked for 2 hours on Sunday, and he told me all the story, what happened, how the cop lied on the report to get a DUI bust. He reported it to Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL. He reported it to Internal Investigations, and they did nothing. This guy's an ex-cop, ex-investigator, ex-SWAT team. He did a bunch of stuff. He was from, I believe, the D.C. area. So I mean, he was in a place where there was 2,000 cops. So at the same time, too, he was in a place too where if you were corrupt, they took care of business, and you were gone, you were fired, you were in jail, you were in prison, and etc. So yeah, he contacted me because he believes that if you're a bad cop, you should be in jail. You should be charged. You lose your license. So that's why he came to me, and you know, he's just like me. He believes we need cops, but we don't need dirty cops. We don't need corrupt cops. So what you see in front of you is this is a response he got from Internal Investigations from Andre Rodriguez in Internal Investigation, who, as you can see here, as we've been talking, has basically done nothing. It's basically saying "F you," and to prove this guy's an ex-cop that busted him for you know, wrongdoing, perjury on the report, and etc. to get a bus. He basically one of the Charlotte County sheriffs busted him for DUI, but he did it illegally. If you do it illegally, sorry, you lost the case. But apparently in this third world frickin' unconstitutional piece of crap called Charlotte County Charlotte County, Florida, that doesn't mean anything. So yeah, wow. So anyways, and then they're still screwing him with him. They supposedly violated him on his probation. He also believes, and I agree with all the evidence here. He sent me all the correspondence, the evidence that and this is nuts. He busted the guy, and he kind of proves in a way too, as a lot of people know, including me, because it's happened, that they do stuff here. If you mess with them, they mess with you. And what happened is he believes this is they're messing with him back because he filed a report against somebody that's connected with the Charlotte County Sheriff. Some lady that he met came to his place, stayed for a while, left in the middle of the night, and he reported it. He had to retire because his back went out. He's got a bad back. So he had to retire years ago, 15 plus years ago. So because his back is so bad, he's on some pretty heavy meds. He would rather do the meds than do the surgery, because he could end up crippled if you do the surgery. So what happened is, like I said, the lady that was at his house took off in the middle of the night. He went out to make sure his meds were still where they were supposed to be, and they weren't. They're gone. He's got some good meds for the back pain. He's got Oxycontin, all that good stuff, which on the street is worth a lot of money. So he reported it. So the reason why I'm telling you this, he reported it. So this is what happened like a month before he got busted for the DUI. So basically what happens here in Charlotte County, if you do anything to them, they freaking literally stalk you and try to get you on anything that they can just to get you back. It's insane. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional, etc., etc. So here's some of the stuff that he sent me. This is good. So he's basically connecting the guy that busted him is connected with the lady that he accused of stealing his drugs. And then they didn't even make a real, when he reported the theft of the drugs, they didn't even make a real report. They just wrote down, it wasn't a real report, it was the other report where it's basically just saying that we know about it, that's it. It wasn't even a real report. So in his internal investigations that he did to send to internal investigations over Charlotte County, he proved how this person that pulled him over did it vindictively to get him back, because it's related to the lady that he busted for stealing his drugs, which he needs because his back is wasted. So yeah, this Rassy person is related to Uncle Nick's Pizza, who, if you live here in town, some of you guys know this, they're total freaking cop suckers. Oh my god, bootlicker to the max. You give them a boot, they will lick it clean. Oh my god, really bad. So here we go. This is the one that he accused of stealing his drugs, and gee, well, you know what, the same person that pulled over is related. So yeah, you know, like I said, and you guys have seen the videos over the years, it's, you know, you do something, they do something back, even though it's illegal, unconstitutional, etc. So he sent them all this information, internal investigation. They basically said, F you, we don't care. I mean, he's just like, of course I was going to say he's just like me. Of course, he blows me away. He used to be a freaking investigator. Jesus Christ, man. So I mean, he did everything that I do. He got the GPS location for the cop car, you know, to prove or not prove, you know, if the that cop was telling the truth. Nicholas Rassi, that's the cop that did this crap here in Charlotte County. Here's a report. Yeah, this is the report where, you know, he busted, you know, he made a report that the lady stole his drugs. Here's proof that he's the real deal. He's ex-cop, and he even used to do traffic accident reconstruction. So he's not stupid. And there's this Uncle Nick's again, and here we go. So Rassi, look at the Rassis all over the place, and so it's really disgusting. And yeah, so this is why he made a big deal out of making a report to the sheriff, because as you guys know on the street, this is big money. This is expensive. Oxycodone pills gone, Percocet gone, morphine gone. Wow. So this is heavy duty. He had all the proof here. You know, this is the lady that he busted, and how you know, the same person that pulled him over is related. Judas Priest, man. Wow. Look at this. Rassi, Nicholas Come on, man. So, like he said in the report, this is an insane, corrupt, good old boy network. And that's why I'm going to be doing this in pieces. I'm going to do my screen reader, because he freaking nails him, man. He totally lied on the report, perjured himself, everything. Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL in Internal Investigations doesn't care. That's the payback, because you busted somebody of one of their own, or somebody that was related to one of their own. So it's really sick. It's really sad. The crap's got to stop. Like he said, people need to start suing Charlotte County Sheriff, just like they sued Punta Gorda Police, and now they're starting to mellow down a little bit. In fact, actually, I just asked for the new insurance policy. I'm going to start looking at here in a second to see what changed. But anyways, getting back to this, so I'm going to do the screen reader on some of this, because, I mean, he's an ex-cop. He's an ex-investigator. Jesus Christ, freaking busted him, and they will not do anything. So I'm going to do the screen reader. You're going to see he's the real deal, man. It'll read it. You'll see he's got balls to the wall, guilty, committed perjury, lied on the report, and they don't care. That's Charlotte County corruption, and it's got to stop. We got to start suing people. Got to sue them into submission and or out of existence.
October 15, 2016. Response to ACE's investigative report. MI16-4 Sergeant Rodriguez. I came to Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, Internal Affairs Division, on January 26, 2016 and spoke to you about Charlotte County Deputy Sheriff Nicholas Rass No. 3048 fabricating his probable cause on a sworn affidavit for a DUI arrest at Conway Boulevard and Elmira Boulevard, Charlotte County, Florida, case number 1511-007495. I gave you pictures of the roadway and a video of my vehicle fully accelerating to 30 miles per hour at the point where Deputy Rass states that my vehicle was doing 51 miles per hour in reference to my complaint. You stated to me, to check with you in a couple of days to check on the status of my complaint. 3 days later, on January 29, 2016, called you at your office to inquire as to the status of my complaint. You stated to me that after talking to your major about my complaint, it was decided that there was not enough evidence to open up an investigation into my complaint on Deputy Rass for fabricating his probable cause on a sworn affidavit for a DUI arrest. As you can quite imagine, I was extremely shocked when on October 13, 2016, that I discovered you did indeed open an investigation, ACE's investigative report MI16-4, on my complaint on Deputy Rass on February 1, 2016. You had my home telephone number and my cell telephone number and did not even bother to notify me that you were conducting an investigation on my complaint into Deputy Rass, after telling me that there would be no investigation. is the standard operating procedure for Charlotte County Sheriff's Department Internal Affairs Division and complete transparency of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, as Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL states that his department has. I cannot imagine why I wasn't notified of an investigation on my complaint on Deputy Rass after being told that there would be no investigation on my complaint against Deputy Rass. From Charlotte County Sheriff's Department on Internal Affairs Complaints. It is Sheriff's policy that all allegations of member misconduct be appropriately investigated and promptly adjudicated. All reports or accusations made against a member of the office, or the office itself, by any sources, are to be completely investigated to ensure the integrity of the office and its members. General Order 5.04. This complaint doesn't appear to be completely investigated as per General Order 5.04 as posted on Charlotte County Sheriff's Department website, since I wasn't contacted about my complaint after being told there would be no investigation. Isn't this a violation of your General Order 5.04 because this was not completely investigated? Since I was told by you that there would be no investigation and I was not asked to provide clear factual evidence which would support my complaint on Deputy Rass. This investigation appears to be a cover-up on my complaint filed against a Deputy Rass. I would like to address some issues into your investigation on my complaint on Deputy Rass. See attached PDF file, ACIS Investigative Report MI 16-4. Issue number 1. It is not my belief that it is impossible that my vehicle can reach a speed of 51 miles per hour in 100 feet from a stop sign, but a fact. I have lived at my residence since December 1, 2001 and know that Charlotte County deputies sit in the parking lot backed up so they can watch the stop sign on the access road and Conway Boulevard, and also watch the traffic light at Route 41 and Conway Boulevard for people running the stop sign or traffic light. After making a complete stop at the stop sign on the access road and Conway Boulevard and using my right turn signal, then proceeded northbound on Conway Boulevard, approaching the curve at Elmira Boulevard at approximately 25 miles per hour. Used Car and Driver magazine website www.carandriver.com to get that a 2013 Nissan Rogue can reach a speed of 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.9 seconds. This has nothing to do with the speed of my vehicle at a given location. This is called an acceleration factor, designed by engineers, which would mean that the vehicle is traveling at 88 feet per second and would have to travel a distance of 783.2 feet to reach a speed of 60 miles per hour. http://www.calculatim.com/speed/miles/per-hour/tow feet per second.htm. Deputy Rass states that I was doing 51 miles per hour. A vehicle would be traveling at 74.8 feet per second and would travel distance of 665.72 feet to reach a speed of 51 miles per hour, which is over 6.5 times the distance of 100 feet from the stop sign to where Deputy Rass states that he got me on radar. Point of perception is 0.75 of a second and reaction time is 0.75 of a second. If Deputy Rass was traveling at 35 miles per hour, he was traveling 52 feet per second, placing his cruiser 78 feet before the curve of Conway Boulevard and Elmira Boulevard. My vehicle would not have been picked up on his radar since I would have already been around the curve. The engineers at Nissan should be notified that my Nissan Rouge can reach a speed of 51 miles per hour in 100 feet, because they are greatly underestimating their acceleration factor for a 2013 Nissan Rogue in their advertisement for the vehicle. Issue number 2. Deputy Rass observed my vehicle weaving into the opposite lane of travel at the corner of Conway Boulevard and Elmira Boulevard, which is a 45-degree curve. Full definition of momentum: http://www.merriam-webster.com/dictionary/momentum. 1. A property of a moving body that the body has by virtue of its mass and motion, and that is equal to the product of the body's mass and velocity. Broadly, a property of a moving body that determines the length of time required to bring it to rest when under the action of a constant force or moment. 2. Strength or force gained by motion or by a series of events. The momentum of a vehicle traveling at 51 miles per hour would force the vehicle to the outside of the curve and not the inside of curve as stated by Deputy Rass. And as with my experience as an accident reconstructionist with Prince George County Police Department, Maryland, see attached PDF file, Accident Reconstruction. Issue number 3. Deputy Rass can estimate my vehicle's speed at 50 miles per hour, within 1 mile per hour, which registered 51 miles per hour with his agency-issued radar. But yet Deputy Rass doesn't know where he made the traffic stop? In his probable cause affidavit, see attached PDF file, Probable cause affidavit, Deputy Rass states that he stopped me at Conway Boulevard and New York Avenue when he actually stopped me in the 22,000 BLK of New York Avenue, which is 240 feet from the intersection of Conway Boulevard and New York Avenue. See attached JPEG image, 20-49-57 map and JPEG image, 20-49-57 cruiser, which are printouts from Deputy Rass's cruiser GPS and proves that he perjured his probable cause affidavit. Issue number 4. Deputy Rass states in his probable cause affidavit, I turned my patrol vehicle around, activated my emergency overhead lights. Deputy Rass didn't activate his emergency lights until after he made a right-hand turn onto New York Avenue, almost a mile from Conway Boulevard and Elmira Boulevard in a residential neighborhood. Why did it take Deputy Rass almost a mile to pull me over in a residential neighborhood? Issue number 5. Deputy Rass states in his probable cause affidavit that he asked me three times for my vehicle registration and that I proceeded to remove my registration from the glove box of my vehicle. I have carried my vehicle registration, vehicle insurance, and handicap permit in a document envelope above my sun visor since 1986 when I injured my back in the line of duty as a police officer. My glove box of my vehicle was never open except when the deputy opened it for his inventory for the vehicle impound. Issue number 6. In your investigation on my complaint on Deputy Rass for fabricating his probable cause for a traffic stop, you mentioned three separate times about my back level being .221 and .238 on the DUI charge, and not that it was amended to .08 on the court records. My complaint is not the DUI charge but the fabrication that Deputy Rass made for the traffic stop. In your investigation, this is called a red herring. You are creating a smoke screen to take the focus off my complaint and trying to justify the DUI arrest, which is not my complaint and shouldn't be in your investigation. My complaint on Deputy Rass was him fabricating his probable cause for the traffic stop. What is the purpose of investigating the DUI charge when the complaint is about Deputy Rass fabricating his probable cause for the traffic stop other than to create a smokescreen and take the focus off the fabricating probable cause complaint? Justifying the DUI arrest has no place in this investigation on Deputy Rass fabricating his probable cause for a traffic stop. Issue number 7. On September 27, 2016, I requested from Charlotte County Sheriff's Department Records Division the name/date of any deputy or citizen that has requested information on my name, vehicle, address, driver's license, using the David Chick 6 systems, or any requests for reports involving my name. I have also requested this same information from FDL and was told that it could take up to 2 months to furnish my request due to their backlog of requests. In your investigation you have my court records, but there is no mention from Charlotte County Sheriff's Department Records Division of you running my name or vehicle for a background check, which all investigators would do on an investigation on a complaint and to check the complainant's background. Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL states that Charlotte County Sheriff's Department will be transparent to the public and not withhold information. Are you stating that you never ran my name or vehicle for any information while conducting your investigation? Issue number 8. Deputy Rass states in his probable cause affidavit states that I made the statement, but I am a retired cop, so it's okay, you can let me go. This sounds something like an 8-year-old would say. Not a highly decorated law enforcement officer with 43 letters of commendation and a bronze medal of valor for surviving a shootout with an armed suspect. While in the police department I supervised 17 officers on my squad, and if the adjoining sector sergeant took off work on leave, I supervised his squad also, giving me a total of 34 police officers to supervise. The only reference that I made to be a retired law enforcement officer was when I stated to Deputy Rass was that I was a retired law enforcement officer, and that there was no way that I was doing 51 miles per hour when I came around the curve at Conway Boulevard and Elmira Boulevard. Issue number 9. I kept wondering why a deputy would risk his job for fabricating his probable cause for a traffic stop. So I did my own investigation, and in September 2016 I found a connection between Deputy Rass's wife and an Adrian Briggs CPDF file, Facebook connection, who I had made a theft report on October 15, 2015, see attached PDF file. ACES Incident 1510-008781. On October 15, 2015 I made a report on Adrian Briggs, 7 arrests, for stealing my pain medication while she stayed at my house with Charlotte County Sheriff's Department. ACES Incident number 1510-008781. $1,500 street value for the pain medication. Charlotte County Sheriff's Department was more interested in if I was making a false theft report just to get more prescription medication for the theft, and had me scheduled to do a voice analysis test 3 days after I made the theft report. Then on 10-30-2015 I discovered that an incident report was written instead of a theft report, which it should have since it involved a felony theft. On November 13, 2015 I was arrested for a DUI by Deputy Rass, Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, case number 151-CO7495, whose wife is friends with Adrian Briggs. Deputy Rass DUI arrest on me was less than a month after I made the complaint on Adrian Briggs for stealing my pain medication, and had her given a no trespassing warning for my address. This is 1,000,000 to 1 that the arresting deputy's wife would be friends with a person that I made a theft report on would be a coincidence. The population of Charlotte County, Florida as of July 1, 2015 is 173,115 people. http://www.census.gov/quickfacts/table/psd04521512015. I don't see this as being a coincidence, but more of as a personal motive. Issue number 9 is Deputy Rass in the Good Old Boy Network and is being protected because he owns Uncle Nick's Pizza and donates pizza and wings to criminal investigations CXO and gift certificates/pizzas to shop with a cop. CPDF file, Good Old Boy Facebook website for Charlotte County Sheriff's Department and Facebook website for Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 66. Issue number 10 Deputy Rass made 7 perjuries in his probable cause affidavit, CPDF file, perjury complaint. If I had been contacted that you were opening an investigation on my complaint after you told me that there would be no investigation, I could have provided you with the above clear factual evidence which would have supported my complaint on Deputy Rass. A couple of months back I read in the Charlotte Sun newspaper that candidate for sheriff, Ed Pope, told Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL that Charlotte County Sheriff's Department was corrupt and has been for the last 20 years. After reviewing your investigation on my complaint and the way it was handled, I would have to agree with Ed Pope. This investigation was not a complete and unbiased investigation. To find my complaint against Deputy not sustained when with the factual evidence that I have supplied shows and proves that this investigation was poorly handled, and I can see why you did not want to notify me that you were in fact conducting an investigation. Is this why I was not notified that there was an investigation on my complaint on Deputy Rass for fabricating his probable cause for a traffic stop after I was told that there was not going to be any investigation? Because you didn't want me to provide my proof for my complaint? How can this be a complete and unbiased investigation when you never contacted me for follow-up questions? On my initial interview with you, me making my original complaint on Deputy Rass for fabricating his probable cause for a traffic stop, cannot be a full investigation on your part after gathering all your facts. Physics proves that Deputy Rass perjured himself on me doing 51 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. Deputy Rass's own cruiser GPS proves that he perjured himself where he states that he made his traffic stop. The good old boy network was done away with 30 years ago up north. It's time Charlotte County Sheriff's Department realizes that it will not work down here anymore. If this is a typical investigation on a deputy fabricating his probable cause, with an unstained finding, I'm now convinced that Charlotte County Sheriff's Department is a corrupt department. And it appears that there is not complete transparency within Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, as Sheriff PRUMMELL tells the public, since information is being withheld from the public when requested. Perjury complaint on Deputy Rass. Perjury number 1. Deputy Rass stated to me that I came around the corner on Conway Boulevard at Elmira Boulevard, crossing the center line, and almost run him off the road at a high rate of speed. At a high rate of speed, the momentum would push a vehicle towards the outside of a curve, not towards the inside of a curve. He then activated his emergency lights and pulled me over. If I almost run him off the road, why did it take him a mile away to pull me over in a residential neighborhood? Perjury number 2. Deputy Rass stated that he immediately activated his emergency lights on Conway Boulevard and Elmira Boulevard. Deputy Rass didn't activate his emergency lights until after he turned onto New York Avenue. The traffic stop was a mile from where Deputy Rass stated that he got me on radar. Perjury number 3. Deputy Rass stated that he stopped me on Conway Boulevard at New York Avenue. Deputy Rass stopped me 240 feet down on New York Avenue from Conway Boulevard. GPS proves this. Perjury number 4. Deputy Rass stated that I was doing 51 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone and crossed the center line. I had just left a stop sign after making a complete stop and was doing less than 30 miles per hour. My vehicle is a 4-cylinder Nissan SUV, and I videotaped me flooring it from the stop sign on Conway Boulevard to Elmira Boulevard, where Deputy Rass states that he clocked me doing 51 miles per hour. I could only get my vehicle up to 30 miles per hour, and I gave a copy of the video to Sergeant Rodriguez, and also told them that I was an accident reconstructionist in the police department before I retired on a back injury, and that it was physically impossible for my vehicle to reach a speed of 51 miles per hour in less than 100 feet from a stop sign. Perjury number 5. Deputy Rass stated that I made the statement that I'm a retired police officer and it was okay, he could let me go. Sounds like something an 8-year-old would say, not a highly decorated police officer with 43 letters of commendations and the Bronze Medal of Valor, surviving 2 shootouts, and a letter of appreciation from Charlotte County Sheriff William Cameron for apprehending a suspect that the Charlotte County Sheriff's Felony Warrant Squad, along with several K-9 units and the Sheriff's Department helicopter, had been chasing for over an hour and lost. The only statement that I made in reference to me being a retired police officer was when the deputy made his original traffic stop and he stated that he was stopping me for doing 51 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. I stated to the deputy, look, I'm a retired law enforcement officer and there is no way that I was doing 51 miles per hour. At which point Deputy Rass asked me if I had any alcohol to drink tonight. I said I was willing to take a polygraph test to prove I never made that statement. Perjury number 6. Deputy Rass stated that he had to ask me 3 times for my vehicle registration and that I finally got it out of my glove box. I have carried my vehicle registration and insurance card in an envelope above my sun visor since 1986, because of my back injury in the line of duty as a police officer, and never went into my glove box. Perjury number 7. Deputy Rass stated that he then conducted a standardized field sobriety exercises, which he did not do. I had conducted 100 single quotas of field sobriety exercises as a police officer. There is no center or edge lines on New York Avenue. The only test the Deputy Rass conducted was the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, at which point he stated that I was under arrest for DUI. After handcuffing me, Deputy Rass removed my wallet from my back pocket and threw it in my center console, which I didn't think anything about it until I was released from the county jail and then realized I had no ID or money to pay for a cab. Deputy Rass left my pain medication, Percocet 10 mg and morphine 30 mg, in my center console, which are two different type of narcotics. A sergeant at the jail said the deputy should have taken my pain medication with my property for safekeeping, since they were narcotics, and should not have left in my vehicle overnight. I feel that since the deputy perjured himself under oath on his probable cause for his DUI arrest, that this was acting under the color of law, conduct unbecoming of an officer, perjury, and that he violated my civil rights.